Are you leaving a significant portion of your potential revenue untapped simply because of a language barrier? It's a question every business with international ambitions must answer directly and honestly. The sheer size of the worldwide digital economy makes the stakes enormous. For context, the global content marketing market is expected to hit a staggering $2 trillion by 2032, according to recent reports. How much of that monumental growth are you capturing right now with your current approach? The critical truth is that expanding your global reach requires far more than just translating your existing content into a few different languages. A truly effective global business strategy demands a unified, culturally intelligent, and data-driven global content strategy. This proactive approach is no longer optional in today's interconnected market. It is a non-negotiable step for competitive and sustainable international expansion. Over the next few minutes, we will explore the definitive consumer data that proves this need. We will clarify the critical difference between simple literal translation and true localization. Finally, we will outline the 3 actionable pillars required to build a successful, revenue-driving global content strategy that secures your future growth and positions you as a genuine global leader. Section 1. The unspoken demand. Why English-only content is a revenue roadblock. The data speaks. Why consumers reject English-only experiences. We need to start with the people who matter most, your potential customers. They have clearly stated their preference, and their behavior definitively proves that content accessibility directly controls purchasing power. This isn't just about making things a little easier for your audience. It's about establishing the trust and confidence necessary for a transaction. The definitive research from CSA Research shows that consumer preference for content in their native tongue is the rule, not the exception. A massive 76% of online shoppers prefer to buy products when the information is presented in their native language. Consider the psychological impact. Content in a native language feels safer, more reliable, and ultimately more trustworthy, thereby reducing perceived risk at the point of decision. Now consider the financial risk of ignoring this apparent demand. The same research offers a stark warning. 40% of global consumers will never buy from websites in languages other than their own. If you are operating in lucrative, high-growth markets like Germany, Brazil, or South Korea, relying on a content strategy that uses only English means you are immediately alienating nearly half of your potential customer base. This is a severe, self-imposed limitation on revenue that can be avoided with planning. Organic search requires multilingual investment. Beyond conversion, there is the fundamental challenge of discovery. Are you maximizing your visibility on a global scale? Consider that 51% of all content consumption comes from organic search. If your content is only optimized for English keywords, how are you ensuring potential customers can even find you and your solutions in Rome, Rio, or Seoul? Securing a presence in international search engine results pages, SERPs, demands dedicated multilingual SEO. It is not enough to simply be visible. You must be visible in the right language, using the right locally researched terms to match the user's specific search intent in that region. If a potential buyer searches for a solution in their native language, your goal is to be the first expert resource they encounter, ensuring your content addresses their needs directly. At the awareness stage of the buyer's journey, a potential customer is actively seeking information and solutions to address their needs. If the initial content they encounter is inaccessible, difficult to understand, or culturally irrelevant, your brand loses credibility instantly. A strong global content strategy addresses this risk head-on by ensuring your introduction to new markets is professional, trustworthy, and perfectly localized from day one. Section 2. Beyond the dictionary, the shift from translation to localization and cultural adaptation. Localization versus translation. Are you speaking to your audience or just at them? Many businesses make the mistake of assuming that international content is a simple process of machine or basic human translation. This approach is fundamentally flawed and often leads to content that is technically correct but fails to connect emotionally or contextually. We must define the critical difference. Translation focuses purely on linguistic accuracy. It replaces words in one language with equivalent words in another. The result is often grammatically correct, but lacks the natural flow, tone, and critical cultural context needed to resonate with a local audience truly. Localization L10N is the complete process of adapting the entire content experience. This means adjusting not just the words, but also critical elements like currency, date formats, measurement units, imagery, the overall tone, and, critically, cultural references. The focus shifts entirely from linguistic accuracy to cultural resonance and technical suitability. The cultural adaptation layer, the key to trust. True localization requires a sophisticated layer of cultural adaptation. This is where your multilingual content marketing either thrives or fails in new territories. A failure to adapt culturally can cause major brand damage, even with simple mistakes. For example, a color that symbolizes mourning in one culture or specific hand gestures used in product imagery might be perfectly acceptable in one region but highly offensive or confusing in another. These small, often overlooked details, when left unaddressed, quickly erode the trust you are trying to build. Ask yourself, are your US-centric business examples or European case studies truly meaningful to a business owner operating in a completely different regulatory or financial system? The tone also matters immensely. The direct professional language we use here is universally safer and more effective for building business trust globally than relying on confusing idioms, regional slang, or potentially confusing figurative language. The conversion impact. Ultimately, localization is not just about being polite, it is about driving revenue growth. When content feels native, the reader feels understood and respected, leading directly to higher conversion rates. The data backs this up directly. Businesses that successfully localize their approach enjoy clear financial benefits. Websites that offer content in multiple languages experienced a remarkable 55% increase in conversions when compared to English-only sites. This statistic provides a powerful, quantifiable metric for the essential ROI of investing in a well-defined localization strategy. Section 3. Building the Global Content Strategy, GCS Framework. The 3 pillars of a robust global content strategy. Building a successful international content program requires a formal, structured framework. A haphazard, reactive approach to multilingual marketing will only lead to inconsistent brand messaging, duplication of effort, and wasted resources. We define this necessary structure using 3 essential pillars. Pillar 1, strategic planning and prioritization, the blueprint. The first step is moving strategically, not just broadly. You cannot localize everything immediately, nor should you attempt to. Identify high-value markets. How do you determine which languages and regions to target first? Focus your investment on markets that demonstrate high traffic potential, a clear need for your product, and the strongest projected ROI. Data must guide these decisions, ensuring resources are allocated where they will have the greatest impact on revenue. Content auditing in tiers. You must prioritize your content assets based on their business impact. High-performing, evergreen content and essential conversion-driving pages, like core service pages or awareness stage guides, should receive the full localization treatment. Less critical or highly transient content may be managed with a lower-tier approach, such as summarized translations. Keyword strategy integration. A functional global content strategy requires dedicated keyword research performed in the native language by local experts. It is never enough to simply translate English keywords. One must also consider the context. You must utilize local search trends and cultural context to ensure your content aligns directly with the unique search intent and phrasing of your target market. Pillar 2, process and technology, the engine. Once the blueprint is complete, you need a workflow engine to manage the creation, localization, and distribution with speed and accuracy. Centralized content management and governance. Consistency is paramount for any global brand. You must deliver a unified singular brand message across all regions, even when the local execution is unique. This requires a centralized content management system, CMS, that serves as the single source of truth for all assets. This centralized control prevents brand dilution and ensures compliance with legal regulations across all operating regions. Seamless workflow. A streamlined process that quickly moves content from initial creation through localization, expert review, and final publication is vital. Technology must automate routine steps, ensuring your workflow is agile. This efficiency significantly accelerates your time to market, enabling you to respond quickly to global trends and outpace competitors. Pillar 3, measurement and optimization, the feedback loop. Content strategy is an ongoing process, not a one-time project. For a GCS to be effective, you must measure the right key performance indicators, KPIs, to justify your investment. Region-specific KPIs, standard website traffic metrics, are insufficient. You must track region-specific KPIs, such as conversion rate per language, geo-specific organic search ranking improvements, and customer lifetime value, CLV, by regional cohort. These metrics paint an accurate picture of success in each territory. The financial advantage, proper, detailed measurement, proves the worth of the investment. Businesses that invest strategically in localization are up to 1.5 times more likely to experience revenue growth than those that do not. This data must be actively tracked, analyzed, and reported to demonstrate concrete return on investment, ROI. Section 4, actionable implementation, turning strategy into revenue, achieving measurable outcomes through global content execution. A well-designed plan must be executed effectively to deliver tangible financial returns. Here is what actionable implementation looks like in practice as it transitions from the strategic map to day-to-day operations. A. Case study scenarios in global content. To illustrate the measurable impact of localization, consider two distinct business scenarios. B2B scenario, software. A software company selling to businesses decides to fully localize its primary awareness stage guide and a corresponding landing page for the German market. The content is tailored to local business practices, regulatory language, and a professional tone. The result is powerful: a 20% drop in bounce rate and a 15% increase in lead submission rate compared to the general English-only version. This significant lift proves that relevance and trust directly drive lead quality and volume. B2C scenario, retail. A global retail brand adapts its social media content and product descriptions specifically for the Brazilian market. This includes adapting imagery to local contexts and ensuring all payment options and shipping methods are culturally integrated. The result is a significant rise in average order value, AOV, and measurable market penetration, driven by higher consumer confidence and a seamless local checkout experience. B. Structuring your multilingual content team. Successful execution hinges on having the right talent and allocating resources effectively. A functional global content strategy necessitates input from local, in-market experts. These reviewers understand the cultural nuances and local business dynamics that even the most advanced AI translation cannot capture, making them essential for quality control. The operational challenge is integrating this expertise efficiently. This integration requires dedicated budget allocation for localization specialists and reviewers, recognizing them as a core part of the content supply chain. You must avoid bottlenecks and ensure that local review speeds up rather than slows down your content production cycles. The goal is to harmonize global consistency with regional relevance, supported by adequate resources. C. The ROI mandate. The strategic investment in a structured GCS pays for itself by unlocking entirely new markets and building deeper customer loyalty that lasts. This is not simply a nice-to-have marketing tactic. It is a critical, essential growth engine for a mature business. Remember the power of accurate localization. Businesses that proactively invest in a well-defined strategy report substantial financial returns, with some seeing 20 to 30% revenue growth. Making this critical investment is a mandate for any company seeking to be a dominant global leader. Securing your global future with expert guidance. Transform your content strategy into a global growth engine. We have established that expanding internationally requires a sophisticated global content strategy that prioritizes localization and cultural relevance over simple translation. This strategic shift is not an expense. It is a revenue-driving investment directly tied to earning consumer trust and capturing maximum purchasing power in new territories. To move successfully from recognizing this opportunity to capitalizing on it, you need a proven strategy and the right technical tools. This is precisely where Aspiration Marketing steps in. We leverage our deep expertise in digital content and inbound marketing to outline proven, actionable strategies for expanding your international presence. Our specialized content tools detail actionable steps that ensure measurable outcomes. We empower businesses like yours to overcome global market challenges and optimize your content strategies for genuine, sustained international thought leadership and growth. Ready to build a robust, data-driven global content strategy that delivers measurable revenue? Connect with Aspiration Marketing's specialized team today to assess your current market readiness and start executing your expansion plan.